Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump attracting massive turnouts at their speeches and events. But what about Hillary Clinton? Even at large venues like college campuses, the Democratic frontrunner isn't drawing the audience size one might expect. Could this be a side effect of the State Department email scandal? Here now with reaction are Jeanne Zaino, professor of political science and international studies at Iona College, and Katrina Pierson, spokesperson at the Tea Party Leadership Fund. Welcome to both of you. All right, Jeanne, what's the answer to that? Are these increasing scandal and a drip, 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 every day a new revelation, damaging revelations, taking their toll in terms of crowds?
They are taking their toll in every way, and I think we see that in the latest polls. She has suffered dramatically from where she was if you look 6 to 8 months ago. Now, she's still very much in the lead, so we have to put that out there, but she has suffered, and I think we see a certain amount of exhaustion amongst Democrats and a certain amount of Clinton fatigue. And I do think the email scandal is a big part of that, and it is frustrating, I think, for Democrats because that is a self-inflicted wound, and I think people are scratching their heads still saying, how could they let this happen? And once it happened, why in March did she come out and allow this to continue to dog her throughout the summer? Why not release the server right away? Right. Why not come out? I mean, you're a lawyer, you come out, you put it out there. It's going to come out there anyways. Oh, yeah. And so, to me, I think she's really, or the campaign has made a misstep here, and I think we're seeing her try to change the narrative in the last few days by comparing, some Republicans to ISIS terrorists. But I'm not certain that that's going to be enough.
Katrina, she has dropped precipitously in the polls, and in fact, in New Hampshire, Bernie Sanders has now increased his lead over her by 7 to 8 points. And one wonders, why is she still, though, maintaining a lead elsewhere? And the New York Post, in an editorial today, came up with the answer, and I'll quote them. It's because there's no one else. Fair point?
Well, I mean, that's absolutely right. There is no one else. There's a lot of loyalty to the Clintons, too. I mean, there's a lot of people who are still a little bit bitter from the last time she ran for president, and they really wanted her to succeed. Unfortunately, it's like every day there is this dripping of the email scandal, and it just continues to get worse. It's not the fact that she's been caught in multiple lies, but it's the fact that this conflict of interest with her employees, Uma Abedin holding 4 positions, all with the conflict of interest. Now they're finding out tons of information was sent on that private email server that was classified information and was declassified by the State Department, which may have violated the president's own executive order. This is getting more damaging over time, and people are beyond fatigue. That's why there's this push for Joe Biden.
Quinnipiac did a poll recently, Jeanne, a word association poll. They asked people, what word do you think of when you hear the name Hillary Clinton? And the top 3 were liar, dishonest, and untrustworthy. And also in the top 12, crook, untruthful, deceitful, and criminal. You're trying to run for president. Those are pretty disparaging words.
Absolutely. And those are the polls that no politician wants. And they did it, I think, on Bush, they did it on Trump, and they did it on Clinton. And Clinton's the top 3, and certainly the rest of them, there were a couple positives in there, but most of them were very, very negative. And that is a problem for her. That said, I do think this is broader than just Hillary Clinton. I think even if this email scandal hadn't erupted, I think we would see her having still a difficult time drawing big crowds, in large part because people want an outsider. They want somebody who is not part of the establishment. There is a certain fatigue with both Bush and Clinton. For my students, if they've been voting, they've had a Clinton or a Bush on the ballot all their lives. And, you think about that's mind-boggling in a democracy. So I think even irrespective of the scandal, I think she still would have difficulty. And part of the problem is Democrats feel like they have all their eggs in the Hillary Clinton basket. That's a problem. Joe Biden may now get in. There's even talk about somebody like Mike Bloomberg stepping in, which I think would be fascinating. But Democrats have a problem if she does indeed implode in terms of who's going to step up to the plate. There's really no one else at this point.
Katrina, the flip side, the word association survey, Donald Trump, who leads in all polls, was described, the top 3, arrogant, blowhard, and idiot. Yeah, those are pejoratives, but people use those all the time to describe politicians. Those are not nearly as severely vilifying as the words for Hillary Clinton. Would you agree?
Well, I do agree. And with Donald Trump, the phenomenon that we're seeing right now, all his negatives are baked in. The polls that we see today, all those pejoratives even, are baked into the candidate that we know now as Donald Trump. And I'll disagree a little bit on Hillary Clinton, considering there's been plenty of scandals that the media has covered for her. When she announced, everyone was excited. She raised a ton of money. She was out there. People were ready to see her. She was avoiding the media. It's because of this one scandal that was put out by the administration that is perpetuated by the media, which is why she's having so much trouble. I don't think she'd be struggling so much had this not happened.
Yeah, and every time she tries to address it, especially news conferences, it just turns into a disaster.
Yeah.
Katrina, Pierson, Jeanne, Zaino, good to see you both.
Thank you.